Hi, everybody. This is Annalisa with Journey to the Goddess, where I regenerate ancient feminine wisdom for modern women. Today, I'm with the wonderful Roz Carlos. Hello, Roz.
Hello, Anna.
Roz Carlos is an artist, a pagan, a colleague and friend of mine, and she is also in the process of finishing her dissertation at Pacifica Graduate Institute. All right, welcome, Roz. Today, Roz and I are going to talk about a little-known goddess figure named Tanit. So not well known that I didn't know who she was until Roz brought her to my attention. So I'm excited to learn about Tanit here today with all of you. So Roz, let's talk about who Tanit is. Who is Tanit?
Tanit is and was a matron protector deity of ancient Carthage and is also revered by the Berber people in modern times as well. Her titles were Lady of Carthage, Lady of the Sanctuary, the Face of Baal, Dia Celestis, Virgo Celestis, Juno Celestis, Celestis Afronum Dia, the African heavenly goddess. And she was worshipped in North Africa, Spain, Malta, Sardinia, and Rome. Her consort was a sky god called Baal Hamon, and she's a mother goddess, a goddess of moon, stars, and sky, and fertility. She is connected to nurturing, protecting, abundance, strength, and cycles of time, cycles of nature, cycles of life because of her connection with the moon, sun, and the stars.
She sounds very much like the great goddess from the Neolithic cultures.
She is connected to goddesses like Ishtar, Astarte, Anat, Neith, who's an Egyptian goddess, Juno Lucina, the goddess of light of Rome, Aphrodite, Demeter, and Artemis.
Really a full spectrum.
Her possible origins are iffy because there's so little information known about her at the moment. She's definitely a Phoenician goddess. A major part of her attributes come from Lebanon, the area of Syria in general. She may have some attributes from other North African goddesses as well. Her most well-known temples are in Carthage, the sanctuary. There's also a bit of controversy surrounding her and child sacrifice, but the problem with that is part of her association with child sacrifice was from rival states and propaganda against Carthage, especially from Rome. The sanctuary is not just to her, it's for her, Tanit, and for Baal Hamon in the children's cemetery. And the sanctuary has 20,000 urns in it with the remains of children. Certain sources want to say it's child sacrifices, and some of the skulls do have injuries on top. We're not really sure if that was pre-mortem or post-mortem. And if it was post-mortem, that may have been to create an opening in the skull so that the child's spirit could leave the body, and then their souls would be commended to Baal Hamon and Tanit, especially since Tanit was a mother goddess and a protector.
So you mentioned earlier that the Berbers still worship her today.
I don't know about worship, but definitely revere. Interestingly enough, I was doing some research on the Amazons. It mentioned how the Berber people still, especially the Berber women, still had certain aspects of goddess worship in their tribal culture and had certain shamanic practices connected to that. And they actually wore a specific symbol that was indicative of her, that was also the same symbol that was used in ancient Carthage.
Now, do you think that they use her as kind of a fertility goddess to induce fertility or to protect?
From what little I could find, she is used for fertility, but also for just general protection and magic.
So what most interests you about Tanit?
Actually, my interest in her was her connection to the Egyptian goddess, the Egyptian war goddess Neith. Neith is not a deity that's native to Egypt. I think she's actually Tanit, just worshipped in Egypt. I was just interested in that and how she was strictly a war goddess.
You talked in the beginning about Tanit's symbolism with the moon and with fertility, but because of her connection with Neith and also Ishtar and Nana, I'm wondering if she also has those warlike qualities, because Ishtar and Nana, goddess of war, also goddess of love.
Well, that seems to be a commonality among mother goddesses. You know, they're not just goddesses of motherhood; they're also protector goddesses, sort of dark mothers. As for Tanit's martial aspect, the only evidence of her martial aspect that I've been able to find is the occasional image of her riding a lion and holding either a very long scepter or a spear.
And if we go the comparative mythology approach, what we see there is a Durga from India. Kebele also has her lions, another goddess from Anatolia. And then the seated woman of Catalhoyuk, she has her lions. I know there are others that are not coming to my mind right now. But there is a continuum with the goddess and the lion, the mother goddess, Sekhmet. That, I think that's a very compelling connection, connecting her to the mother goddess and the warrior protectress. I'm so fascinated what different women are drawn to in terms of goddesses. You know, the protector deities, the protector mother goddesses are a little bit harder, I think, for some women to approach. I love Durga. She speaks to me. What do you think the importance is of these protector deities for women?
Protection is kind of an integral part of motherhood. Unless we're talking about a seriously unbalanced individual, what mother isn't going to protect their child fiercely? Lionesses, wolves, bears. There's a reason protective mothers are called mama bears.
Let's say you're not a mother yourself. Neither of us are. I think that there's, you know, we could look at it more symbolically and think, oh, you know, the inner child within, how do I, you know, protect myself or protect other people I love?
It's basically looking at the protective side of nurturing. It's a calling to engage with caring about the well-being of other people. It's empathy, but it's an empathy that is forceful.
So they could also be these protector deities could be called upon to help create boundaries.
Yes, that is a very important dynamic, I think, for modern women.
I'm picking up the sense of teaching women not to be afraid of their own strength.
Not to be afraid of your own strength, but also not to be afraid to confront injustice or harmful action, not to remain silent, to engage with the fear and to move beyond it instead of letting it dictate what your action should be.
Thank you so much, Roz, for being here and talking to us about the intriguing figure Tanit. And if you would like to learn more, we will leave some references in the reference box below. So if you liked this video, then please hit like, please comment, and please subscribe to the channel and share with other goddess-minded friends of yours, and support me on Patreon. I would be so grateful. Don't forget to check out my Instagram account at Journey to the Goddess. Thank you so much, Roz, for being here. And until next time, ciao.